There's something in quantum physics known as the wave collapse, which sounds complex and it sounds counterintuitive, but I'm going to share a bit of it, and then we're going to talk a bit about how we can utilize the wave collapse in our lives. Light apparently has a dual capacity. Light exists either as a wave or as a particle. It has the potential to be both. When you're not looking at it, it's a wave. And the wave represents in quantum physics pure potentiality. It's a pure state of potential, perhaps as we were at some point in our lives, or maybe even before we were born, before the imprint of life impacted us. But the very moment that you observe the wave literally collapses, and it becomes a particle, particulate, fixed, a thing, an entity. And that's called wave collapse. So I began to think about that, and I thought, we experience wave collapses in our lives. That, again, prior to birth, or at early moments of birth, in mother's womb, that our experience is closer to the state of potentiality. Our state of potential literally collapses because of certain experiences. Some of them traumatic, some of them large and impactful, and some of them slight and nuanced. But for any particular reason, they become wave collapses. And when I'm working with people and we're talking about identity issues or a place where we struggle to make change, let alone transformation in our lives, people keep coming back to these primary experiences. And I ask, what can we call them? We can call them wave collapses. They become self-fulfilling prophecies. What do we do about that? What's the cure? How is this approach different than traditional psychoanalysis, which is looking at these issues? I introduce a new concept and a new term. And that term is superposition. Fancy term, but it's very easy to deal with. Superposition is a pure state of potential. In the instant before you observe that wave, all that exists is potential. So I began to consider, in the nanosecond before I have my next thought, before I attach to my next thought, before I become my next thought, I too am in a pure state of potential. Now, that potential keeps collapsing into the same reality if I keep having the same thoughts and the same felts and the same experience. But what happens if I can awaken? If I can really begin to envision that the universe, my life, my relationships, all of it are pure potential. If the canvas in front of me is blank and it is my life and I've been handed the paintbrush and I can keep painting it as often as I want, there's no limitation. It's a pure state of potentiality. And in that potentiality, we can learn to see the thought and to literally choose whether we want to become the thought, because thought tricks us. It tricks us that it's reporting in on the truth out there. Again, coming out of Newton's world, that world of objectivity.